When in crisis, pretending otherwise is part of the problem. When political betrayal now comes with religious consequences, then you know we are in crisis, and that changes the stakes. Because both politics and religion are shaped by underlying ideologies. They shape how people think, how people obey, how they justify power. But they were never meant to collapse into each other this way. But here we are. What is shocking is not that politics has entered religion because it has always happened. What is shocking is how easily these two now link up. How casually a political disagreement becomes a spiritual verdict, and how quickly people respond, not with thought, but with amen. And that is a far more serious threat. So, this week, politics slipped into something darker. When people can no longer differentiate between rhetoric and reality, a crisis is already forming. But
Whether
before
a
we
House
go
of
much
Lords
further,
member, whether
follow
you're a
what we
minister,
say.
or whether you're a governor, and you support betrayers, people who continue to betray you in life. Let me say it again. Whether you're a senator, whether you're a member of House of Representatives, whether you're a minister, and whether you're a governor, you sit down and support those who betray. Betrayal is your portion. Betrayal is your portion. Betrayal is your portion. And the day you will be betrayed, you will not have mouth to say anything. There you will collapse. And there you will go. And they will announce so person have died. Because that is the seed that you planted. Whatever you plant, you reap. Whatever you sow, you reap. So since you are sowing betrayal, betrayal will follow you everywhere. I have told you, and don't take it for granted. Watch. Watch. Every governor who is doing a second tenure, who has ambition to put a successor and is supporting betrayal, you will never survive it. You will never survive it. Betrayal will follow you. From the day your successor comes in, my own took so many months. Your own will start immediately that the person has been inaugurated. That is what the gods of the land have told me to tell all of you.
So let's talk.
And what I tell you
When politicians
is
say
the
they
truth.
feel betrayed because people they seek to govern no longer align with them or their friends no longer align with them, that is not political injury. That is a crisis mindset. It reveals a state of mind where public office is mistaken for ownership. At that point, politicians are not just losing perspective, they are losing their grounding. They begin to sound off without even realizing where they are, who they are speaking to. And that is what prolonged servitude produces, a detachment from reality. When power forgets it exists by permission, not submission. And the problem is the chorus of amen. Amen to curses. Amen to threats. Amen to language that replaces reason with fear. That is ignorance mixed with devotion. And ignorance, when sanctified, becomes very dangerous. Because when politicians begin to lose the ability to differentiate between what is wrong and what is merely inconvenient, and between what is hurtful and what is simply challenged, it tells us something deeper. Power has begun to distort judgment, not because of who spoke, but because of what we've been trained to accept. Shall we remind you that politics is not spiritual warfare? And I believe you all said politics is structure. And once politicians forget that, it simply means they've lost their way. What makes this even more revealing is the response. People who profess believe in God, responding with amen to political curses, without stopping to ask, what exactly are we affirming? Because amen is affirmation, it is agreement, it is alignment. And just when we thought it was over, the maledictor claimed that these words are message from the gods of the land. And by every cultural and spiritual understanding, The gods of the land do not speak through amen. They have their own rituals, their processes. So, blending this devotion with ignorance is the reason why I said we have a serious crisis. When people no longer can tell what they believe, who they're answering to, or where they are agreeing, the society enters a dangerous territory. It is a truth at a time. Take care and have a nice day.